Alright, so without wasting a time, let's go ahead and start a new lesson in which I'll be talking about working with the date and time in Pandas data frame. So as you know, before we start with Pandas, we need to import Pandas as PD, and we are also going to import Python's native library date and time. So which is available as a DateTime, which I'll be importing as a DT. But before that, I should tell you that you can download this working file from my repository, GitHub repository, working with date and time in Pandas. Go ahead there and then download this working file, in which I'll be sharing this IPython file as well as another ecommerce.csv file, which we will be needing later in this lesson to work on this. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and start this. The first of all, you need to run this cell. Once we execute this cell, it imported Pandas as PD, DateTime as a DT. Now the first of all, we are going to review Python's DateTime module. Okay. So to review the Python's DateTime module, what we need to do? We need to first create some the date. Let's say the today. Today is equal to dt dot you see here, if you type here DA and press the tab, it will suggest you possible suggestions. So it says that dt dot date, and there I'm gonna pass here 2019, and then here we have this is the 12th month and the 22, so it's 22 December 2019. And if inside these braces you press shift and double tab, you will see here the descriptions of dt.date, although not much description available in this case. Anyway, just execute this. Once you execute this and then type today.day, then what would you get? This is the 22, and similarly if you type here today.month, you will get here the 12th month, and today.year you will get a 2019. So this is the way how you can create date time objects using a date time module. But let's say if you want to create the date as well as a time, then how you can do that? That you can do with the date time module. So for example, let's say if I say the today is equal to there we need dt dot date time. Okay, so here we have dt dot date time and then 2019, and then here we have 12 and 22. So this is the year 22nd of December 2019, and then I'm gonna put here the time. The current time is 5 hour, that's a 5 p.m. 17 hour 13 minutes and 34 seconds. Alright, so let's go ahead and run this and try to print this today and see what happens. So it says that yes, we have 2019 and the 17 hour 13 minutes and 34 the seconds. Alright, perfect. Now in the same way as we have got here day, month, year, and the same way we can get from the today as well, like today and day. Sorry, this should be today dot day is 22, and similarly we can get today dot hour. It says that the 78 hour, and today dot minute, it says that 13 minutes, and if we say the today dot second, it says that 34 second. So this is how you can work with Python's default date time module. All right, perfect. Now let's go ahead and review Pandas timestamp object. The one thing I should tell you one more time, let's go ahead and copy this and paste it here. Okay, and try to create something like this. This is also a date format, and see what happens. It says that there is error. Okay, so this says that there is error. Otherwise we can remove those and make it like this. There is error, and even though if we work with spaces, in that case there is error. and if it is inside two braces, then there is also error. But if you see here like this, still there is error. So the thing which I am trying to say that the many times you might get your date and the time format kind of like this. Otherwise you might get your date time format like this. Otherwise you might get your date time format like this, normally space in the form of the string. So the question is, how would you solve this problem? Okay, to solve this problem, what we have here, to solve this problem, we have here the pandas date time timestamp. Okay, so this is the pandas timestamp. So let's go ahead and start working with pandas timestamp. So I'll be covering many various ways of representing date and the time in pandas Python. So let's go ahead, first see the first one, the pd dot the timestamp there, the pd dot timestamp there. The first one I'm gonna see here 2019, and then the 12th month of 22nd day. Okay, all right, let's go ahead and see. It says that okay, this is the way how it can be represented. All right, perfect. And you might also notice that the other ways to represent the time in various files. For example, sometimes you might see something like this. If you say like this, then you will also get the same result. There are another ways as well, like let me show you. You might get kind of 2019 and comma 12 comma 22, same result. All right, the pd dot timestamp. So the thing which I'm trying to say here is that the pandas timestamp object is really very powerful. It automatically parse time objects and show you in a correct format. The one thing you might notice here is that this is the hour, minutes and the second. Since we are just providing here time date, and in that case it is taking a midnight hours. Okay, I'll show you the later how you can also specify the hours as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and try to specify the hours in the format of like this, or you can choose any other formats as well. There is a space, and after the space I'm gonna again say that 17 hours, and let's say the 23 minutes and 45 seconds. So in this way now you will see here, this is the okay the minutes, hours, minutes and second. But in the second way, what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to say here a 5 hour 23 minutes and 45 seconds, but in the PM format. Now you see here a same result, but if I say it in AM format, you will get here a different result. All right, perfect. So this is how you can understand how powerful is this one. Now apart from that, let's go ahead and see about the pandas date time index object. Okay, so I'm gonna show you here pandas date time index object. So the pandas date time index object, how it will work, the first of all I'm going to create a list of dates. Okay, a list of dates, which I can say that dates is equal to a list in the 2019 12th month 22nd day, and similarly let's say we have a 2019 12th month of 23rd, and similarly we have 2019 12th month and 24. Now you see here this dates is a string, is a list of dates. Now I'm going to convert this into a date time index. All right, so that you can convert with pd dot date time index, and then I'm gonna pass here dates. Now you see this has been converted into a date, and now you see here data type is date time. Otherwise if you see here dates and d type, D type for this one. Perhaps I think this should come here like this type of dates. Yeah, this is the list. All right, but now you see here this has been converted into a real date time index, a date time format. All right, perfect. Now let's go ahead and try to understand it in a different way, and that is, let's say if I say here dates is equal to we already have dates there. Let's say this is the dates, okay, and I'm gonna create here new dates. The dates is equal to dt dot date. Now do you understand this? So earlier I had created a raw string, list of strings, but now I'm going to create here date, okay, dt dot date, and in that I'm going to pass here the information like 2019 and then 12 and 22, and similarly dt dot date and then 2019 and 12 and 23. The one thing you need to understand here is that the earlier I had created a list of string and then converted using date time index, and but here I'm going to use here dt, that's the Python's default date time object. A Python's date time object is being used to create a list of dates. All right, so dt dot date, and similarly we have 2019, 12 and 24. All right, and now you see here, now we have dates, and this is also a list of dates, and those are 22, 23 and 24. Now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to convert this again into a date time index using Pandas Datetime index. Okay, so there I'm going to say that date index is equal to pd dot date time index, and there I'm going to pass here dates. And let's go ahead and see this date index. It says that again a same way, the same result which we have got here, and here the same result we are getting here. So now you see the difference. If we create with dt.date, there is a lot of the extra efforts which you need to do, but if you can also directly use date time index without going to without going to put these extra efforts. So we have got here date index. Now do you understand that this date time index stand alone doesn't reflect much information? Let's say if you want to create a Pandas series in which you want to put this date time index as a form, in the form of the index, and you want to put the values, some values against it. How would you do that? Let's say you have values, temperature values, current temperature values. Let's say today's maximum current temperature is 12 degree, and tomorrow it's gonna be 13, and day after tomorrow it's gonna be, let's say, 10. So in this format we have values, and then I'm gonna create here Pandas series that we can do pd.series. If you press shift and double tap, you will see here it asks about the data as an input, and the data, that's values, and then it also asks about the index, which we have date index. All right, so in this way now you see here on the 22nd it's the date, and it's the value corresponding this is 12, and value corresponding to 23rd of December is 13, and corresponding 24th is 10. All right, apart from that there is another way to do to work with date time as well. Let's go ahead and explore that one as well. The another method which we are going to explore is that is the pd dot to underscore date time. All right, so we also have a pd dot to underscore date time method. So in this way, how you can do that? Earlier you see we have been using the pd.datetime index, kind of these things. Otherwise, we have been also using pd.timestamp, where we have been passing this information. But here we have a pd.toDateTime. Okay. So in this way, how you can do that? We can just write here pd.toDateTime. In this toDateTime, we have, let's say, the 2019 and 12 of 20 seconds. Now you see here, it says that, okay, this has been converted. In the same way, if you pass the information like this, it will be converted to a same result. Alright, so the pd.toDateTime, this is the one way. The another way to do this is the pd.to_datetime. And you can pass here a raw string if you prefer. Otherwise, if you have dt.date as well, that you can also pass, like 2019, 12 and 22. In this way, you will also get the same result. And apart from that, if you want to put here a dt.datetime, you can also do that as well. The pd.toDateTime. And then here we have dt.datetime, and then here we have a 2019, and then 12 and 22. It's let's say the 17 hours, 23 minutes, 45 seconds. All right. So in this way, you will get a same result, almost the same result. And apart from that, you can also pass here string. The list of dates which we already have. Let's say if we copy these dates, okay, let's go ahead and copy that dates here, and we can do like pd.toDateTime, and then we pass here dates. So we get same result here, DateTime index, kind of this results. Okay. All right. So this is how you can work with pd.toDateTime. All right. Perfect. So this is how you can work. But the question is, we have, there's so many other ways to do. So what was the need to use this toDateTime? The need was to use this one. Let's say if you already have a Pandas series, okay, and you want to convert those string values into a datetime format in one go, you can use this toDateTime. Let me explain you. For example, let's say you have something, a series, Pandas series like this, pd.series, in which you have a date there. It says that today we have here December of 22, okay, December 22nd, and this is the 2019. All right. And then after that, let's say you have something like 2019, 12 and 22, and then here we have something like this is date, and finally let's say you have something like this, date 23rd, 2019. All right. Now you see we have a series which says that the dates, which is actually not a date, it is a string. Okay, so this series is made of a string, but now you want to convert this string into a date time. Then how would you do this? That you can do using a toDateTime formats. Okay, so that's the pd.toDateTime, and in that we need to pass here dates. And once you pass dates and press shift and the double tap, you will see the information. So it says that what type of the error you want to create, if any error occurs. So default is range, day first is false, year first is false, and these are some other information. Okay, so these are the some three kind of the errors. So in coerce errors, invalidate parsing will be set as NAT. Okay, not a time. For example, let's say this is not a time. If error occurs while parsing this number, it will be set NAT instead of just raising an error. Okay, so I'm gonna pass here errors is equal to coerce. Okay, all right, let's go ahead and see this one. Perfect. Now the one thing you might notice here is that we had written here December 22nd and 2019. It is perfectly converted to December 22nd, 2019. And here was the another way to write this, December 23rd, 2019. That was also converted exactly this in the same way as it is. So this is the beauty of pd.toDateTime. This is so intelligent. It automatically figure out which is a date or what you want to say, and accordingly it converts. Okay, for example, let's go ahead and test. If you say here 24th December and 2019, let's say you say something like this, and you see here, even though if you say like 24th December 2019, it automatically converted 24th December 2019. So this is how you can see how the powerful this pandas pd.toDateTime the method is or function is. All right, perfect. Now let's go ahead and try to create something something in the form of the seconds. Okay, let's say if we have the current second time. Okay, so that's the UNIX format. Then how would you do that? Like UNIX time. Let's say if you have UNIX time format, the last list of the UNIX time format is, let's say, the 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay, so I'm just gonna put here the random numbers. I do not remember what would be the current UNIX time format number. So just gonna create these random numbers. Okay, so there we have UNIX time, which is represented into a second. Now let's go ahead and see if we want to convert this UNIX time into human readable date format. How you can do that? pd.toDateTime, and in that we can pass here UNIX time, and in that UNIX time we need to pass the unit. Now you see here a unit which we need to define. Currently unit is none, but you need to identify that whether this unit is day, month, year, or second, or millisecond, or what is this one. You see here you can get much information here. A default is a nanosecond. It is available D, S, MS, US, and NS. So we have S, unit is S, that is the second. So let's go ahead and create that the S. So it says that, so this number of second represents that 23rd of May 1970 at the 21 hour 2 minutes and 43 seconds. And similarly, this represents that 29th of September 1970. Okay, and this one represents that 1971. Okay, 5th of February 1971. So this is how you can also convert UNIX time format into human readable format using date to date time. The objects are a function or a method in pandas. All right, now let's go ahead and create range of dates with pd.dateRange method. Okay, in pandas we are going to create here create range in the form of date. Okay, so I'll be using here pd.date_range. So this will be used to create a range like we do in a normal the Python, like this. So this is the range which is created from 1 to 10 By default it is 1 sample, the spacing between two consecutive number is 1, but we also can create with the 2 as well. Okay, so this is how we do in normal Python if we create a numbers. But in the form of the dates it doesn't work. If you want to create a range of dates, like if you want to create the daily dates, then how would you do that? For that we need to work with pd.dateRange. That we can do like times is equal to pd.date_range, and once you press here shift and double tab, you will see here it asks about at what date you want to start and what will be the end and what is the period between those the two consecutive the dates, and there is a frequency, time zone, normalization, name, etc. So there are so many things. So let's go ahead and start working with the start. So here we have start 2019, 22. All right, and let's say I have end. The end date is we have 2020. Okay, and the same 1 year. Let's say the 1 year 22. Okay, and the frequency which I'm gonna create here, that's the D. D represents that day. Okay, for each day there will be almost 365 values. Let's go ahead and see this one. Times. Now you will see here it has total 367. Yes, so it has total 367 values, which includes this one and this one as well. So 22 and here the 22. So 22 of December 2019 to 22 of December 2020. So this is how this date time, the date time index is created by using date range. Now the question is, let's say if you want to change this frequency, then how you can do that? That is also very simple. Let's say you want to change this to year, then how would you that? How would you do that? Just make freq is equal to a, sorry, and that let's say you say that times is equal to like this. So a represents that yearly frequency. That is why there is only one date time is created. But apart from that, you see here, if I write it to 23, then in that case you will see here 1, 2, 3 and total 4. One is the 2019, 2020, 21 and 22. Okay, so in this way it is created. Now in the same question, if I say here, in the same way, if I say here, let's say a week, then this is created in the form of week. So you see here a 22 December 2019 and plus 7 days, that's the 29, and then again plus 7 days, then plus 7 plus 7. This is a week. In the same way, if you write here 4 week, it will be created in the form of the 4 week, okay, which is the 28 days. All right, perfect. So this is how you can work with date range to create the range of the dates in a various ways. For example, let's say apart from this, just copy this one to another cell so that I can show you it in more detail. Let's say you have just it 2020, otherwise just make it 2019, and here this one I'm gonna make it 30, and this let's make a D. So in this way now you see this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9, just 9 days. In the same way, if make it 2D, you will get here this 5 days, and if make it 3 days, you will get these 3 days. In the same way, you can create in hourly. So this is the hourly at 0, 0, then at 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour at the same day. So for 1 day, there will be a 24 hours. Okay. All right. So this is how you can create this frequency in various formats, the date range in various formats. Now let's go ahead, and now I'm gonna show you how you can read some stocks data using Pandas data reader library, and then how you can analyze those stock data using Pandas datetime formats. Okay. Using data reader. All right, so let's go ahead. From Pandas underscore data reader import data. Now the question, you might get this error, no module named Pandas data reader. So for that one, you need to write here pip install Pandas data reader. So it might take a little time to install. Now you see here, this has been installed. All right, so let's go ahead and comment this one. Now if you try to import this one, you will get it. Okay. All right, so we have Pandas data reader, we have imported as a data. Now what we are going to define here, a company name for which we are going to read that first stock, that is the Microsoft. The code name for Microsoft is MSFT, and similarly I'm gonna define here a start date from which I'm gonna read the stock prices of Microsoft, that I'm going to define that 2019. Okay, 2019, the 1st of January 2019, and the end which I'm going to define that the today's date is 2019 of 22nd of December 2019. All right, so let's go ahead and get the data. Stocks is equal to data reader, and in this I'm gonna pass here the name of the company for which I'm gonna read this, that's the company, and the data source from where I'm gonna read this data, that I'm gonna define as Google. Okay, Google Finance provides this data, and then we have here start.
Do you want to know what financial
data source is equal to Google, and then here we have a start is equal to start, and then here we have end is equal to end. All right, so this says that there is some error, Google is not implemented. Data source. All right, so there was an error because the data source of Google has been removed because large API changes into the Google's finance. So what I did, I had just changed data source to Yahoo, and it should work. Once you change that Google to Yahoo, it will import the stocks data of Microsoft from the dates starting at 1st January 2019 to 22nd of December 2019 in stocks. So let's go ahead and see in stocks. Now stocks, you see here, this is the Pandas data frame data format, which have starting date is 31st. That was the start of that week, perhaps 31st of December 2018 to 20 of December 2019. Since this is the last 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, stock was closed on those 2 days. So this is how you see the Microsoft in last 1 year. You see the Microsoft's the stock price has been increasing. So the high was 102 in last year, but here current year is 158, And in the similarly you see here open is also kind of increasing, so it's almost a 50% increment in last 1 year stock prices of the Microsoft. Although today's our task is not to analyze the stock prices of any company, but we are working on the date time formats using Pandas data frame. So you see here in a stocks mostly you get date time index, and yes, we have here a date time index. So the currently this index is represented into a date time. Now let's say if you want to extract a particular row, then how would you do that? For example, let's say if you want to extract this row, okay, this row, how would you do that? Stocks.log a normal the pandas the method which you have, log or ilog. In that case, how would you do that? 2019, 12 and 16, okay, 2019 year, 12th month and 16th day. Then you will get all the results. All right, and similarly if you say here a stocks.ilog, and then with the ilog you need to provide here index location. Okay, I don't know the exact index location, but perhaps that should be somewhere 350 kind of. Okay, so it says that perhaps there is error, single position indexer is out. Perhaps this could be, no, it's 300 is also out of box, perhaps 200. Yes, 200 is working, but I'm not sure for which day. Okay, I think yes, it has October of 2019, 16th of October 2019. If we say here a 40, it says that 12th of December. 44 says that perhaps 42. Yes, so yes, 242 is the same location as 16th of December 2019. So this is how you can get the using a normal pandas ilog and the log. But let's say you want to get these if you want to extract some particular range of rows, then how you can do that in a similar way. Let me first add few more blank spaces by just pressing keyboard B. Let's say if you want from 16th of not 16th, let's say from 1st of December 2019 to the 16th of December, then how would you do that? So in this format you can get this particular from this date to this date. All right, perfect. Now what I'm going to say here, I am going to provide you some information there. I'm going to say that the offset, okay, there. All right, okay, so this is how it is working. Now in this way you can get you can extract the particular row from one location to the another location. Okay, now what I'm going to show you here, a very important thing which I'm going to show you is a truncate. Let's say if you want to extract, instead of doing this, instead of extracting the rows for a particular window, let's say if you want to truncate all the data before the 1st of December 2019 and after the 16th of December 2019, then how would you do that? And to do that you can use a truncate methods, that's stocks.truncate. okay, so stocks.truncate we want to truncate all the data before of 2019, the 1st of 2019, the 1st of December, and the after, which we want to truncate, that's the 12 and 16. Now you see here, so all the data before of 1st of it actually include the 1st of December 2019, and before that dates has been truncated. Now you see the data is available from 2nd of December 2019, and all the data after 16th of December. You see here all the data after 16th of December. So 16th is included, but 17 and 18 Decembers of the data has been truncated. So this is how you can truncate undesired data, and you can select only a particular data in various ways. All right, so let's go ahead and show you how you can work with the pd dot the date offset. Okay, I think instead of the date offset, I should tell you more about the time delta. For example, let's say you have a particular time frame, and you want to create a kind of range by using a time delta. You can do that. Let me the first write an example, then I'll show you. Let's say you have here a time delta. A time delta, by the name you see here, it is representing that you want to just generate a piece of code. Okay, let's say you have a time A, pd dot timestamp. There we have 2019, 12th of 2019, and then we have, let's say, a 22nd. The current time is 17 hours. Sorry. The current time is 17 hours, 23 minutes and 34 seconds. Let's say similarly we have another time, which is a time B. Okay, so the time B is pd dot timestamp, and just I'm gonna increase here a second day, 23rd of December. So now you see we have two time, and in that I'm gonna subtract time A from time B. Okay, so it says that, sorry, the time A and time D, it says that we have time delta exactly the one day, 0, 0, 0, 0 and 0, 0. That's when exactly there is only 1 hour of the difference. But let's say if I make it the kind of 19, then in that way you will see here it says that something like this. There is difference, 1 day difference and 1 hour 39 minutes and 40 second difference. This is the time delta. Okay, so that's the time difference. How you can get time difference by subtracting the times. Okay, now let's say if you want to create if you want to calculate the time delta in other ways, how you can do that? Pd dot time delta. Let's say it asks about the number of days which we want to calculate. Let's say we have here a weeks is equal to 10 weeks, and then 2 days, and their hours we have 3 hours, and minutes is, let's say, 23. In that case it will show you the 10 weeks, 2 days, 3 hours and 23 minutes means 72 days, 3 hours, 23 minutes. Okay, perfect. So this is the time delta, the difference, which is calculated into the days, hours and minutes. Okay, perfect. So now this is how it is working in this theory. But now I'm gonna show you how you can work with the ecommerce.csv file, which we have included here, ecommerce.csv. Let's go ahead and first read that ecommerce.csv by using pd.read_csv, and in that we have ecommerce.csv file. Now you see here it has ID, order date and delivery date. Now we want to make this ID as an index, and to do that what we can do, index call is equal to ID. Now you see here ID has become index, order date and delivery date. Now you see here order date and delivery date is kind of the date time format. Okay, but by default Pandas does not parse this as date time format. Let me show you. Let's say we have df is equal to kind of this, and then df.info. So this says that non-null object, non-null object. In the same way you say here df.describe. Okay, describe doesn't give information. All right, perfect. So this is kind of the object, and if we parse this as parse underscore dates is equal to, so I'm going to provide here the column names, which will be parsed as date time, that's the order date, and delivery underscore date. Okay, perfect. So now you see here instead of the object, now order date and delivery date has been parsed as a date time format. Now you see here df.head, you will not notice any much differences. Yeah, you have differences. All right, so earlier it was kind of the forward slash perhaps. Let me see here. Yes, it was a forward slash. Now it has been parsed into very correctly into a date time format. Okay, perfect. So this is how it is parsed. Now the question is, let's say if you want to add the another column, see here the order date and delivery date. Okay, now let's say you want to add here the another one, that's the delivery time, how much delivery time it took to deliver the order. And to do that we need to subtract this order date from a delivery date. And to do that what we can do, we can create here, see here we have df, that's the data frame. We can create here a new column, which we are gonna say that delivery time is equal to df, then here we have the delivery date minus df order date. All right, so let's go ahead and see here df.head, it says that here, yeah, delivery time days. Okay, so this is how it works. So this is really very beautiful. The one thing you should notice here is that by using this the date time parsing, we have parsed this string data into a date time, and then we can operate it normal date time mathematical operation on the columns. All right, perfect. So this is all about in this lesson. Thank you so much for watching this the video. Please do not forget to like and subscribe this channel, and you can download this working file from my GitHub repository. Lakshmi made it working with date time in Pandas.